This is Gemara in Kiddushin Daf Beis, and today's shiur has been sponsored as an incredible schos aliyas neshama for Yehuda ben Daniel ben Zion b'siyata d'shmaya. As we begin a new mesechta, all the fire, all the vigor should bring Yehuda ben Daniel ben Zion to a higher place in Gan Eden Shel Ma'ila. And the bracha that we begin with as we begin a new mesechta is that the same excitement, the same enthusiasm that is with us today when we begin this mesechta should be siyata d'shmaya stay with us as we plow through, ultimately conquering siyata d'shmaya, another mesechta. Says the Mishnah, Daf Beis and Aleph, Ha'isha nikneis b'shleisha drachim. A woman can be acquired in one of three ways. Ve'koines atzma b'shtei drachim. And she can acquire herself back in two ways. Three ways in which she gets married, two ways in which she frees herself to be able to marry another man. Says the Mishnah, what are the three ways a woman can be married with? Niknes, she is kaineh, she is acquired. Bekesef, bishtar, ubebiyah. With money, with a document, and with marital relations. Bekesef, with regard to kesef, says the Mishnah, we have a machlokes. Beishami oimrim b'dinar b'shava dinar. How much money has to be used, says Beishami? A dinar or a shava dinar. Beis Hillel oimrim. Says Beis Hillel, no, not a dinar, a much smaller denomination. Bepruta ubeshave pruta. V'kamahi pruta explains the Mishnah how little is a pruta achas mishvana b'ser hoyitalki. 1/8 of an Italian Iser. So the first way that a woman can be acquired with kesef is explained by the Mishnah, Machlokes Beishami Beis Hillel, what is the minimal amount of kesef, whether it is a dinar or whether it is a pruta. The koines atzma, and she can acquire herself back. The Mishnah said with two ways. What are the shtei drachim? Begat ubemisabal. Either with a gat, which was the entire last mesechta dealt with, or b'misa bal if her husband dies. And the Mishnah concludes, once we're on the topic of acquisitions, hayavama, a woman awaiting yibun, her husband dies and she had no children, so she can marry the husband's brother. A yavama is niknes bibiyah. The only way to be kind of the yavama is through an act of marital intimacy. The kindness atzma, but she acquires herself back with two ways, with chalitza, that the ex-husband's, the deceased husband's brother does chalitza, a whole process which we've discussed extensively, or b'misas hayavam. So basically, two parts of the Mishnah. The first part of the Mishnah dealing with a woman, how she is kinda, how does she affect marriage? One of three ways: kesef, shtar, and biyah. Kesef, a machlokes Beishami Beis Hillel, that's the minimal amount. And how does she acquire herself back? Get, or the husband dying. And the Mishnah concluded part B with the Yavama. How is the Yavama acquired? Not with three ways, not Kesef, Shtar, and Bia, only with Bia. But how does the Yavama acquire herself back? With similar two ways, not Get or Misabal, but rather Chalitza or Misas Hayavam. Says the Gemara, the Mishnah began with the word Ha'isha. Ha'isha niknis. The Mishnah said a woman is acquired. Asks the Gemara, I don't understand the terminology of our Mishnah. Why over here does it say a woman can be acquired? Or as why in the second parak it says over there it gets from the man's perspective. Ask the Gemara, our Mishnah should have said similarly, not for the man's perspective. Our Mishnah says Aisha niknes. Over there it says Aisha mikadesh. So why by us doesn't it also say Aisha miskadeshes? Why does he use the term niknes? Explains the Gemara 5 lines from the bottom. Because I wanted to say that one of the ways is with kesef, and therefore kesef is a form of kinyan. And since kesef is a form of kinyan, therefore the Mishnah uses the word niknes and not miskadeshes. The kesef minoles. Now that we're on the topic of kesef, says the Gemara, we know that kesef is a form of Kiddushin. Says the Gemara, Gamar, Kicha, Mistei Efron. The word Kicha is utilized by a woman getting married and utilized with the sale of Efron. It says with regard to a woman getting married, Ki Yikach ish isha, man takes a woman. The word Yikach, Hasam by Ephraim, when Avram Avinu bought from Ephraim, it says, Nasati Kesva Sadeh, Kach mi mani. Over there by Avram Avinu it says, I've given the money of the field, Kach, take it from me. So we see that the word Kach, Kicha, is utilized over here by Kiddushin. And it's utilized over there with regard to Ephraim, with regard to giving money. Says the Gemara, V'kicha ikri kinyan. So the word kicha by Kiddushin is equated to the word kicha by Ephraim. And now says the Gemara, so why does the Mishnah use word niknes? Because the word kicha is called a kinyan. Where do we see that? As the pasuk says, also over there, Asada Asher Kana Avram, the field that is acquired to Avram. That is one source that the word kicha is called a kinyan. Another source, as we turn over to Beis and Beis, Inami, a second source, says that the pasuk, this is a pasuk in Yirmiyahu, Sades Bakesef Yiknu, they acquired the field with money. Again, a second pasuk that we see the word kinyan with the word kesef. So therefore, since the Mishnah wanted to talk about a kinyan, since one of the forms of kinyan is with kesef, therefore concludes the Gemara in the top line of Beis and Beis, Tani, the Mishnah listed Ha'isha Niknes. So the kasha of the Gemara was, why by us does it say Niknes? Why in the second paragraph does it say Ha'ish Mikadish? Answers the Gemara, it says Niknes because we want to talk about Kesef, and Kesef is a form of kinyan. Kicha mistei Ephraim, and the word Kicha is called a kinyan asada asher nasati lach sada is by Kesef yiknu. So now we've confirmed that since we're talking about Kesef, we use the word kinyan. Ha'isha niknes, she's acquired. Ask the Gemara, okay, now let's ask on the second barak. Minisnei asim, over there it should say ha'ish kaina. Over there it should say that the man may acquire. Why over there does it say, why does it say ha'ish mikadish? Answers the Gemara, meikara tani lishna daraisa. Originally the Masechta opens up with the lishna daraisa, which is the word kinyan, kicha, kesef, and therefore Isha niknes. Well, beside from the second parak, Tani lishna derabanan, says the Rabbanan lashon, which is mikadesh. My lishna derabanan. What is the lashon midrabanan? Where's the word mikadesh? Why is that a term which refers to Kiddushin, which refers to the first stage of marriage? My lishna derabanan, the asla kuli alma kakdesh. That ish mikadesh comes from the term that he asers this woman on the whole world like hektish. So we start with the lashon, the terminology of the daraisa isha niknes. We continue with the rabbanan lashon of ish mikadish. So now that we understand why the parak begins with niknes, it continues with mikadesh. Ask the Gemara at the end of the fourth line of Beis and Beis, v'nisni acha ish kaina. So why doesn't our Mishnah say ish kaina? This was the question I mentioned before. Why does our Mishnah say it from the vantage point of a woman? Just like the second parak says, Ha'ish mikadish. Our Mishnah should say, use the word kinyan because that's a derisive term. But say from the vantage point of the man, Ha'ish kaina. Answers the Gemara Mishnah, the Kabbalah Levinstei Seifa. Because the end of the Mishnah wanted to say, V'kanes atzma, that she acquires herself back, bidida. Talking about she herself. Therefore, Taninami Reisha, bidida. Therefore, we refer to herself in the Risha as well. Ask the Gemara v'nisti ish koine umakne. So now I ask the Gemara, I don't understand. You just explained to me that the end of the Mishnah wanted to say that she acquires herself back. Ask the Gemara, why does the Mishnah not say it all together? Ha'ish is koine in three ways. And umakna, and he gives her back. He releases her in two ways. Very good. You wanted to discuss the way that she's kind of herself back. Why do you have to say that? Say it's in the way that he gives her back. Ish kaina umakna. That's what the Mishnah could have said. And then answers the Gemara. Because Because one of the ways that she acquires herself is the husband dies. Laviu kamakni. He's not giving her back when he dies. Rather, min shamaya hu demakni law. And that's the reason why I cannot say ish koina umakne. Therefore, the Mishnah says it from the vantage point of the woman. By saying my second teretz, itan a koine. If the Mishnah would have said, "Oh, ish koine hava amina afilu bal karcha," I would have thought he can marry her even against her will. Tani isha niknes, that she is the one that is giving herself. She is the one that is being acquired. Demidaita in. It's only if she does it willingly. Shaloi midaita law. It does not work against her will. So that's why the Mishnah said for the vantage point of the woman. That's why the Mishnah said for the vantage point of Kiddushin and not Kinyan and not Kiddushin. Says the Gemara, 1 second, 12 lines down, first word line is in. Why did the Mishnah say O Isha Niknes? B'shalosh derachim, listening shloisha. Should have said shloisha, the masculine term. Says the Gemara, we say I want to say derech, and derech is lashon nekevu, and therefore it said in the nekevu of shalosh techsev. V'yidat lem said derech yelchu ba. We see the word derech is a feminine word. Velha the tiny says Gemara 1 second, but that which learned in a brayso. Beisheva derachim b'itkin es azav. It says in 7 ways. We checked the zav. Says the Gemara nisni sheva shiva is male. Sheva is female. So if the word derech is lashon nekeva, so it's saying 7 drachim, so it said sheva, not shiva. The reason is because I want to say derech. Vashkan derech, dekri lashon zacher. The word derech either be masculine, one way they're going to go, in 7 ways they're going to want to run away. And or the word derech could be in the feminine. Says the Gemara, now you have a problem. If the word derech can be used both ways, ask the Gemara, Yachi, if that is true, kasha kraya dadi. Now we have a steer in psukim. The word derech, is it female or male? V'kasha nami, we also have it shver. Masnisana dadi. Because the word derech is used in the Mishnah is both ways. So explains the Gemara, 8 lines from the Y lines, kraya dadi like kasha. The fact that the pasuk used the word derech in both ways, not a kasha. Hacha de b'tayrakai, b'tayraki lashon nekiva. One time the word derech is used, it's saying the way that the Torah says it, that it's a derech of Torah. The Torah itself is an entity of nekeva. Tersev, Torah as Hashem temima misivas nafesh. We see that the word Torah is used in the nekeva form, and that's the reason why when the word derech with Torah is used, it's in the nekeva. Therefore, kasla lashon nekeva. Hasam, 4 lines to the Y lines, when the pasuk says 1 way they're going to run away and 7 ways they're going to chase after you, it's talking about war. A man goes to battle, therefore, kasav la b'lashain zachar. So the word derech and the psukim could indeed be utilized both in the male and the female, and depending on context is how we figure it out. If it's referring to an entity like the Torah, which is a feminine entity, therefore it says it in the lashon nekeva. The number with the word derech lashon nekeva is talking about a masculine entity like milchama, then it says it in the zachar. And we conclude masnisa adadi like kasha. What about the fact that the Mishnah used the word derech in both ways? Says the Gemara in the last narrow line, that's also not a kasha. We're talking about a woman. Therefore, the derek shall ish live daik, the derek shall isha live daik. It's a way of the man to be checked to see if he's a zav. It's not a way of a woman. Therefore, it says it in the male. Why is it the way of the man to check? Isha nami, because by a woman, it doesn't make a difference how a woman becomes tameh. Therefore, tani lashon zachar. Whereas by a man, it makes a difference. Therefore, it's talking about checking the zav. Therefore, it says lashon zachar. So again, the word derech could be utilized both in the zachar and in the nekeva. In the psukim, it depends on context. And the Mishnah similarly depends on what we're referring to. We conclude today's share with going back to the Mishnah and figuring out the word shalish on the second white line. My taima tani shalish. Why does it say shalish, which is the female sham derachim? So says the Gemara, I don't understand. Nisni devarim, and then nisni shloisha, and then he can say it in the masculine and the zachar. Answers the Gemara Mishnah T'Kvay Lemistei Bia. Ubia Ikri Derech. Mishnah wanted to use the word Bia, and Bia is called a Derech T'Chsev. Derech Gever Ba'alma Ki Derech Isha Min Efes. Therefore, since it wanted to say Bia, therefore it wanted to say Derech, therefore it had to say Isha Nikdes B'Shalosh Derachim. Couldn't say Shloishak, then it would have to say Dvarim, and it couldn't say Dvarim because it wants to talk about one of the ways being Tashmish. Asks the Gemara 1 second, Ha Tinach Bia, Kesvishtar Michael and Meimar, in the 5th Y line. I understand that the word Derech is referring to, is utilized referring to Tashmish. But Kesef Ushtar, Michael and Meimar, Kesef Ushtar, why are those referred to as Derachim? Says the Gemara Misham Bia. Says the Gemara V'tanitarti Otuchada. I don't understand. 2 of the entities Kesef and Shar Dvarim. 1 Bia is the Derech. So why do we say 2 because of 1? Says the Gemara, Hani Nami Tzayrech Bia Ninu. Everything that we're talking about, Kesef and Shtar, is a Tzayrech of Bia. They're getting married. And the whole tachlis, the whole purpose of the marriage eventually is for Bia. Therefore, we use the word Derachim, which you could use by Derech. Iba Yisema, with this we conclude, Hamani Rev Shimini. The Tani Rev Shimon Omer B'nimam Torah. Why does the Torah say, Ki yekach ish isha, that a man takes a woman, v'loy kasev, ki lokech isha leish, when the woman is taken by the man? You know why? Because a man looks after a woman, and a woman does not chase after a man. Person lost something. The one who lost his aveda is the one that goes searching for his aveda, and that's the reason why the man, the derech is for him to go looking after the woman. Again, the aveda is the fact that Chava was created from the bone of Adam. Therefore, the man goes to look for his aveda, and therefore, ki yikach ish isha. It doesn't say ki si lokech isha leish. And therefore the Mishnah could fit with Rav Shimon. That is the second teretz. And we'll pick it up from Ba'atanan in the next year, B'siyata Dishmaya.